As soon as you reached home, your face looked pale and eyes red. You quickly wiped your tears before your mother saw them. Then, forcing the corners of your lips upward, you gave a fake smile to her. One, your mother asked, noticing something was wrong. What happened? You look. No, mom, you cut her off, still smiling weakly. Everything is fine, I'm just tired. You didn't wait for more questions. You went straight to your room, closed the door, and locked it. Your back pressed against the door as you slowly slid down to the floor. You sat there, knees close to your chest, arms hugging yourself, head down. Jungkook's words kept echoing in your ears. I can't marry Ryan. I still love Ria. I don't love her. Each word was like a knife inside your chest. You clenched your eyes shut tightly. Your lips trembled as you whispered to yourself, he doesn't love me. Your heart was breaking piece by piece. You remembered the way you always looked at him secretly, how you blushed when he walked past you, how your heart raced just hearing his voice. You remembered the birthday dress he gave you once, how you hugged it every night. You remembered how you dreamed of him smiling at you, holding your hand, calling you mine. But all of that was just your dream. In reality, Jungkook belonged to someone else. Ria? You said the name softly. Who is she? Why do you love her so much? Jungkook. You smiled sadly. I was going to tell you, you whispered. I was going to say I love you after everything is settled down, but now you wiped your tears with your sleeves. No need wine. You got your answer, didn't you? You told yourself he doesn't love you. You tried to stay strong. You told yourself it didn't matter, but it did. You couldn't stop crying that night. Your pillow was wet. Your eyes burned. Your chest felt heavy. And for 2 whole days, you didn't go out of your room. Your mother brought food to your door, softly knocking. Wine. Eat something, please, she said. You opened the door slightly and took the plate with a weak, thanks, Mom. But as soon as you closed the door, you stared at the plate for a while, then walked to the dustbin. You didn't feel hungry, your body felt weak, but your heart felt weaker. You laid on your bed, holding the pillow tightly. Sometimes you cried softly, sometimes you just stared at the ceiling, eyes blank. You didn't text Chia. You didn't scroll Instagram. You didn't even check your notifications. Your world had stopped. Meanwhile, outside, in the living room, your mother looked at her phone. A new message flashed on the screen. It was from Jungkook. She opened it and read the message. Then a slow smirk spread across his lips. She looked satisfied, almost as if a part of her plan was working. She looked up at your room door and said to herself quietly, good, very good. Back in your room, you were still thinking, why did it have to be him? You whispered. Why did I fall for someone who doesn't see me at all? You held your chest tightly. Why did it hurt this much? You stared at your reflection in the mirror. Your face looked tired. Your eyes were puffy, but the pain in your heart didn't show in the mirror, it was only inside. Still, you whispered to yourself, stay strong, Vine. You can do it. But your voice broke as another tear fell. It had been 3 painful days, 3 days since you last stepped foot in Jungkook's mansion, 3 days of silence, 3 days of heartbreak. Your heart was heavy, your eyes always tired, you didn't speak much, didn't go out, didn't even check your phone. You were just stuck in that moment where you heard the man you loved say he didn't love you. I cannot marry one. I still love Ria. You hadn't told anyone, not Gia, not your mom, not even yourself. You were drowning in your own thoughts until suddenly your phone buzzed. You answered without checking. Hello, your voice was hoarse. It was the maid from Jungkook's mansion. Miss Wan, please come. Her voice cracked. Chia mom and Jungkook sir hasn't eaten anything for 3 days. They locked themselves in their rooms. Your heart dropped. You had been hurting, but they were too. You had let your pain build you from theirs. After cutting the call, you sat on your bed, guilt eating you up inside. How will I even face them now? You weren't sure. You decided to step out to get some air and clear your head. Maybe walking would help. You randomly walked into a cafe. The smell of coffee was comforting. You didn't expect to see anyone, but then you heard a voice. Mine. You turned, and your eyes widened. John, he smiled, surprised. Wow, it's been so long. You both smiled weakly and hugged each other briefly. He pulled a chair for you, said, "Let's catch up." You both sat down with coffee. "How have you been?" you asked. "I'm doing good," he replied. "Came back to the city for work." You nodded. "That's nice." "And you?" he asked, looking into your eyes. "How is your life?" You looked down at your cup. "It's fine." He gave a soft laugh. "Liar, I can see your pain wane." Your lips trembled slightly. He leaned forward. "I know we broke up, but I still care about you. I was your best friend before anything else. And right now you're clearly not okay." You looked at him, trying to hold back tears. "I'm not," you whispered. "I haven't been okay for a long time." He nodded slowly. "Tell me everything. I'm here to hear you out." You took a deep breath. "I'm in love with someone." His expression didn't change. He just listened carefully. "His name is Jungkook. I was in college where his sister was studying. I got close to his sister, Jia, and eventually his father too. They are like my family. His sister, and his father was there when me and my mother were struggling with life 4 years ago. Jungkook was there for me when I was in trouble, though he's cold." You paused, feeling your throat tighten. "But I fell for him, Jungkook. I thought maybe he would feel something too." John nodded slightly, encouraging you to continue. "I never told him. I waited, but recently his father died, and I stayed by his side. I thought maybe he would see me, feel me." Your voice broke. "He said he doesn't love me." He said he still loves someone else. Ria, you looked away quickly, wiping your eyes. John stayed silent for a few seconds. "Mine," he said softly. "That's painful. I'm sorry." You nodded, your shoulders trembling. "I stopped going to their house after that," you said. "I stopped checking on Jia. I was so hurt that I forget their pain. Now I don't even know how to face them." John gave a sad smile. "You loved him deeply." You nodded. "More than I ever loved anyone." He paused before saying, "I know you know how I felt in high school." You looked up surprised. He chuckled lightly. "When I loved you and you didn't feel the same, I understood. It hurt, but I understood." Tears dropped from your eyes again. "I'm sorry, John. I truly am. I never meant to hurt you." He gently touched your hand. "You didn't. It wasn't your fault. Just like it's not Jungkook's fault. We can't control love." You looked at him silently. "But you know what does hurt?" he continued. "That you stopped being there for Jia, for Jungkook. They were there for you in your worst, and now they needed you." You nodded. "I know. That's why I feel so ashamed." He gave you a soft smile. "No, it's okay to feel sad, but now go to them. You don't have to confess love. Just be there as a friend, as a human. You will feel better." You took a deep breath. His words were clear, true, simple. Accept his feelings and still be the strong, kind girl you always were. You stood up. "Thank you, John. Really." He smiled. "I can see how much you love him, even back then. I miss that love from you, but now you are truly in love." You hugged him tightly. "I'm lucky to have you in my life." "Always," he whispered. "John, your best friend, he proposed to you and you accepted thinking it was love. But you realized too late that what you felt wasn't romance, it was deep friendship." You remembered the pain on his face when you broke it off, and how he left the country, unable to stay, just friends with you. You returned home, heart heavy but focused. You quickly freshened up, tied your hair back, and picked up your bag. As you came out of your room, your mother spotted you. "Where are you going now?" she asked with a forced, calm voice. "I'm going to Jian Jungkook," you said firmly. Her smile froze now. After so many days, you looked at her with soft but determined eyes. Yes, because they need me and I won't let them feel abandoned again. She nodded slowly. Okay, take care, dear. But the moment you left and closed the door, her expression changed. Her hand tightened into a fist. She pulled out her phone and typed a message angrily. She's going to the mansion now. Do something before she ruins everything. She hit send and looked at the door with cold eyes. She was not happy with your actions. Your heart was beating fast. You hadn't come here in 3 days. Everything felt cold and distant now and familiar. You slowly opened the door and stepped inside. The living room was silent, no laughter, no footsteps. Just silence. You didn't waste time. You walked straight upstairs to Gia's room. You opened the door gently and froze. Gia's room was a mess. Clothes thrown around, curtains closed. Her art canvas is broken and torn on one side. And there she was sitting in a corner, hugging her knees, tears running down her face like rain. Gia, you whispered, walking towards her. She looked up, her eyes widened in shock. Why? She whispered, her voice shaking. You came? You knelt beside her and hugged her tightly. I'm sorry, Gia. I should have come earlier. She clutched your shirt and cried louder. I thought you left me too. I realized it lately, you said, stroking her back. But I don't want you to be like this. Papa won't feel good seeing you like this, right? Please get up, go freshen up. She didn't say anything, just nodded slowly. Only you could convince her. You stood up and helped her to her feet, guiding her to the bathroom. I'll prepare something for you to eat, okay? Eat something, please. Okay, she said softly, disappearing into the washroom. You walked downstairs to the kitchen. The maid was already arranging ingredients on the counter. Her eyes welled up when she saw you. Miss Mine, she said softly, thank God you're here. You gave her a sad smile. I had to come back for Chia and for Jungkook too. The maid looked around before whispering, Sir Jungkook, he's not well. You paused. What happened? She hesitated but then spoke. After you left, he hasn't eaten properly. He locked himself in his room. He drinks every night, smokes all day. No one is allowed to enter his room, not even to clean. He looks like he's rotting in pain. Your heart squeezed. You looked away, swallowing the lump in your throat. Even if he doesn't love me, he was never cruel to me. He helped me when I was in debt, fought for me. He cared. Even if he was cold, he was still a gentleman. You turned to the maid. Please serve lunch to Jia. I'll handle Jungkook. Her eyes widened. But Sir said no one should. I know, you interrupted softly, but he needs someone now. I'll go. Don't worry about me. Just make sure to cook everything. You said and walked out of the kitchen. You walked slowly up the stairs, each step heavy. You reached Jungkook's door. It was closed. You didn't knock. You knew he would say no, so you pushed it open and walked in. The room smelled like whiskey and smoke, curtains drawn, floor littered with cigarette butts and empty bottles. Your eyes burned. Jungkook, you called gently, walking to the windows. You pulled the curtains open. The bright sunlight poured in harshly. Ah, what the hell? He screamed, shielding his eyes. He sat upon the messy bed, shirtless, hair messy, dark circles under his eyes. It's me, you said calmly. His eyes widened. Juan, what are you doing here? I told you to leave me alone. You walked to the side and began picking up the trash. I will, but only if you stop smoking and drinking. He scoffed. Why would I listen to you? Because you turned to face him. You are my well-wisher and I need you to be healthy. I don't need to be anything, he shouted. You don't need to tell me what to do. You sighed, not yelling back. Fine, but think about Chia. You promised your father to take care of her. How will you take care of her like this? He fell silent. The room stayed quiet for a moment. You continued picking up bottles and tissues. I know what to do, he finally muttered. Just leave me alone, Ryan. But you didn't. You walked to him and gently snatched the cigarette from his hand, throwing it in the bin. He didn't stop you, he just stared at you. His eyes held pain, confusion, anger, and something else, something he couldn't say. You began folding the blanket, cleaning the side table, fixing the curtains. He just watched you. Why is she doing this? Why didn't she leave me like everyone else? You looked back at him after a minute. I'll bring lunch, freshen up and come down if you still see me as a friend. Without waiting for an answer, you left the room. Downstairs, the maid was just serving lunch to Jia. She smiled when she saw you. You nodded and helped her place the plates, but your mind was upstairs. Jungkook was still in that bed. Upstairs, Jungkook sat at the edge of the bed, his elbows on his knees, hands over his face. Why are you doing this, Wan? Just stay away from me. I'm not good for anyone, not for you. He looked at the empty space where you had just stood. I told you to leave me, but you came back. He felt something inside him crack again, and this time it wasn't just pain, it was regret. The air in the mansion felt heavier today. You had just finished helping Jia eat lunch. She smiled a little more than before. At least she ate something. That was a start. That room hasn't been touched. If I hide something, at least they try to move on from their father. You stood up, making your decision. I won't throw anything away, just clean a little, maybe pack the things that aren't needed anymore. I will give Jungkook some space to come out of his father's thoughts. He quietly walked into the late Mr. John's room. The sink was still there, old carbon, leather, and dust. He looked around and started packing a few things: an old watch box, a faded book with no cover, some papers, and broken pins. His slippers still near the bed. You carefully placed them into a cardboard box. I'll just keep these in the storeroom. Jungkook might want them later. As you picked up the box, you heard footsteps behind you. You turned and saw Jungkook standing in the doorway. He looked tired. His hair was still messy, but he wasn't yelling this time. What are you doing? He asked, his voice low. I'm just putting away some of your dad's things. You said gently, only what's not necessary. I didn't throw anything. He nodded slowly. Okay, just don't touch the desk drawers. I won't, you replied. As you began walking past him with the box, he suddenly said, also take these whiskey bottles to the storeroom. Don't throw them. You looked back at him confused. But why? You said you were trying to stop. He looked away. Just, I didn't want them in my room, but don't throw them, that's all. You didn't argue, okay? You carefully picked up the half-used whiskey bottles from his room and placed them inside another box. Then, carrying both boxes, you headed to the storeroom. The air inside was thick with dust. Cobwebs clung to the ceiling corners. You placed the boxes on the shelf one by one. Then your eyes caught something, a photo frame on the old wooden shelf. You paused. What is this? You picked it up gently. It was a photo, Jungkook and a woman. They were smiling, laughing. Jungkook stood behind her with his arms over her shoulder. Your chest tightened. Is this real? She looked so beautiful beside him. I thought I would be beside him in this kind of photo one day. Your fingers trembled slightly, tears welled in your eyes without warning. He smiled so brightly with her, but before your thoughts could go deeper, a loud, sharp voice broke the air. What are you doing, Wine? You jumped, your hand shaking. The photo slipped from your fingers and fell. The glass shattered across the cold floor. You gasped. I'm sorry. Jungkook stormed into the room, eyes wide. anger burning like fire. How can you be so careless, Vine? He yelled, kneeling and picking up the broken frame. Can't you even hold the photo properly? You bent down trying to help. I didn't mean to. Don't, he barked. Don't touch anything. You stopped, frozen. These things, they are precious to me, Vine. I told you not to touch my stuff. I said I'm sorry. Your voice cracked, tears swarming again. I don't know. Just leave. He shouted again, louder this time. Don't ever touch my things again, ever. You backed away slowly. I'm sorry, truly, you whispered, voice trembling. I will leave. You walked out quickly, wiping your cheeks as the tears finally fell. Jungkook stayed in the storeroom, crouching down beside the broken photo. He stared at it for a moment. His fingers trembled, then slowly he picked up the largest piece of broken glass and held it tightly. The sharp edge pierced through his palm. Blood started dripping, but he didn't care. Why did I yell at her like that? Why does she keep getting hurt because of me? I should have told her. I should have explained. The pain in his hand was nothing compared to the pain in his chest. He looked at the smiling photo once again. Why fate planned to separate us? He meant about Ria who was in the picture, or he meant about you. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave your opinion in the comment section.